Passport Bros, your ultimate travel companion. Download the app for free and embark on a journey where your adventures not only become unforgettable memories, but also opportunities to earn. With Passport Bros, your travel content is more than just photos and videos. It's your ticket to a fully monetizable network of like-minded adventurers. Imagine making money from your travel stories. Post videos, share your experiences, and let the world be a part of your journey. But that's not all. Connect with travelers from around the globe, join co-ed groups, and make lasting friendships, perhaps even with foreign women who share your passion for exploration. And here's the best part. Store your earnings securely in your Passport Bros wallet. No hassle, no worries. Just seamless transactions wherever your travels take you. Looking for the best local experiences? Passport Bros has got you covered. Get personalized recommendations for tour guides, rentals, and the hottest clubs in town. Did we mention the app is absolutely free to download? That's right. Your passport to a world of adventure is just a click away. And here's the cherry on top. With Passport Bros, you can make money while exploring new places. Turn your passion for travel into a source of income, right from your mobile device. So, what are you waiting for? Download Passport Bros now, share your journey, connect with fellow explorers, and let the adventure begin.
Download now on the App Store and Google Play.
All right, family, we are live. Welcome to another show. It is your man B.M.p in the house. Guys, let me know if I'm coming through loud and clear on the audio. I know I've been having a few audio issues as of late, and we're going to get this party started. I want to welcome everybody on in the room. We're going to discuss a pretty crazy situation out there in Medellin, Colombia. All right, with my man Freeze. We're going to talk about it. We're going to break down some of his video. Recently went in an incident out there in Medellin, Colombia. As you guys know, Medellin, it has its sketchy areas, but even outside of sketchy areas in Medellin, you could be in a nice area in Medellin, and they will pull up right on you. So we're going to definitely talk about that today, man. And no victim blaming. I really want to get your guys' opinions. I had sent the video out. Actually, somebody sent me the video, and then, it was going around a little the app circles and the WhatsApp circles and everything like that. And some people were saying that he was faking, and we'll see when he breaks down what happened out there at Central. I think he's being 100% truthful. Personally, I don't know what I'm not saying that it doesn't happen, that guys don't make up stories to go viral. Being robbed in South America. But in my opinion, nobody's gonna go through all that shit. I mean, Buddy looks pretty messed up. He got maced. You can clearly see that he's not all the way together in the video that he did. So, I don't think it's faking. For some odd reason, some people that love Medellin, Colombia, would like to make it seem safer than it is, or always try to put the errors on the victim for some odd reason, when in actuality, listen, man, the people out there hunting, they just go for soft targets, just like a lion would go for a older elk or something like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they go for targets, and as a tourist, you're a target. I remember going down to Central a lot, and if I was with my assistant Maria, I'd be like, yo, you don't have to speak English. I know enough Spanish to communicate while we in the street. You don't have to speak English. And for some odd reason, she would speak Spanish low, but she would speak English very loudly. I guess she wanted to try to impress people that she knows English or something. I should be like, Maria, stop it. Stop it. But we're gonna break down this story in a minute. Let's see who's all in the room. Yeah, it was Freeze, man. It was Freeze. And shout out to Freeze. Like I said, I'm not trying to clown him or anything like that. But it's just, you got YouTubers, influencers coming into that travel space. And although a lot of them have massive followings. They're trying to make a transition, and shout out to some of them come and do consultations with travel YouTubers and stuff like that. Shout out to my man Train Genius. He's out here now in Thailand. He has like a 300 something thousand subs. He has like several channels, but he did his consultation with my man Travelversity. They got kind of put on information. But you got these other influencers that I think some of them might assume that it's an easy space to get into. And on top of, there's an assumption that if you got some form of street smarts, that they won't F with you in South America in general. And unfortunately, that's just not true. And in the story, you'll see, it's some questions because I'm like, well, if you street smart, if you truly street smart, if you truly from, the soul of the inner city, the streets, basically, you know it feeds off evil, and you know that people are going to be hunted. I've seen it myself. I've never been in any incident. I've been in one small incident in Centro myself. I will admit I was in a small incident. And I go through that story as well after we do the video. But in essence, it's just like when guys say they street and they from, they're very aware. If you hypersensitive and hyper aware, you probably should see it coming. I'm just going to say that. Now, we got 75 in the room. Guys, do me a favor and make sure you hit that like button. We're going to break it down in a moment. My man, Talk Tulato says, okay, that's my man right there. He changed his name, changed his handle rather. Pay $3,000 to fly to Asia because it's safe. Actually, a lot of flights have been going down. We've been working on a flight aggregator for the Passport Bros app. So I'm kind of, ultra aware of prices going up and down because we're doing a deal with I'm not gonna say who we're doing a deal with just as of yet because it hasn't been concrete yet, but I'm very aware of the prices because it pretty much sends you a notification when it goes up and down. And actually the flights, they're having direct flights. I don't know if it started yet from California, let's just say the West Coast in general, straight to Bangkok. Me personally, I wouldn't do that flight. You know what I'm saying? I need to break that flight up. That flight is too long. I don't want to be on an airplane longer than 10 hours, really. But you gotta do like 13, 14 in some cases when you fly into Thailand. So. But yeah, the flights are actually not that expensive. Don't tell me this freeze is the legendary Sinful P best friend. Yeah, it's him. Yeah. And rest in peace to Sinful too, man. Rest in peace to I used to look at Sinful. Only thing I used to say about Sinful, and I'm not trying to speak ill of the dead at all, rest in power to him. I still don't know exactly, maybe it was a medical condition because he passed away fairly young. But anytime I see a guy that's on some street shit in the 2020s basically, I'd be like, damn, bro, if you can only apply that your talent, and Sinful was a very talented orator. I said, man, you can only apply that to like a legitimate business or something. You know what I'm saying? Or as a negotiator or something. Or as somebody that, does deals and consultations. Every time I heard Sinful to P, I was like, bro, you can talk somebody into a wall, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? But anyways, rest in peace to Sinful to P. And yeah, this is his guy's freeze. Like I was saying earlier, a lot of these guys will hop into these travel space. They'll move, because the cost of living is relatively cheaper in South America, Caribbean, Asia, and everything. And I'm not saying that, they are 100% unaware, but it's certain YouTubers and content creators that don't give you the full aspect of living overseas in these foreign countries. Now, most Passport Bros within the Facebook group on the app, we kind of in the know. As a matter of fact, in the app, we have a page that's like a Naughty Chica page, basically, where we show pictures, a backlog of pictures, videos of all the girls in Medellin and Cartagena and Rio that have drug foreigners, right? And we update it pretty often because guys are constantly getting drugged and everything. But if you're on the app, you can go through that backlog and just be like, hey, I think I recognize this chick that I'm talking to right now. You know what I'm saying? There's no amount of street smarts that can unrun your pockets. 100% true. 100% true. I was just saying that if you're supposedly hyper aware, because I was pretty aware when I was in Central, especially at night. I would say you should see it coming. All right. Shout out my man Tracy says, man, listen, I love the Passport Bros app. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. And we're gonna go through some of the aspects of the app in a moment. I'm gonna let a few more people ride up on in the room. But first, did you guys see that versus? Matter of fact, I want to do a panel. Let me vote. I want your guys' opinion. Did you guys see the no limit, the no limit cash money versus? Put a one in the chat if you watched the no limit. I watched it late because I didn't realize it was going to be on Apple TV. I don't know where they took it off of Instagram, but it was actually on Apple TV. But of course, the streamers streamed it. Shout out my man Cigar Music 402. Put a one in the chat if you saw the verses with Cash Money and No Limit. No Limit destroyed Cash Money, as I know they would, because No Limit catalog is basically high energy. I wouldn't necessarily call No Limit crunk music, but it has that same flow and energy to it. And I think No Limit went light on Cash Money, actually. And the thing about Cash Money is, like, how you not gonna have Lil Wayne and Turk out there, bro? Come on, man. If it was actually the Hot Boys, all of them, it would have been a way closer versus, in my opinion. See, P had everybody. P had Snoop, Silk, Mia X. Mia X was out there wilding a little bit, but they killed it. They killed that shit. They killed that shit. Somebody saying this incident beating up Star Bull, LOL. Somebody's been, yeah. It was funny, man. Like I said, I caught the playback. Somebody was streaming it. I think it was like a reaction YouTuber streaming it. So I caught the playback. It was very nostalgic, though. Just hearing it, and everybody was looking good too. Everybody was looking good on the stream. Black definitely don't crack I mean, we talking about 96, 97, bro. And I didn't see too many guys walking around with with canes or wheelchairs and anything like that. These guys are like just cash. I mean, this shit came out of high school. I mean, like in the 10th grade. So a lot of these guys are in their 50s, they late 50s, and they up there dancing and everything like that. So that's a testament in itself that they survived a horrific environment. I was telling my girl yesterday, I was like, hell, the 80s and 90s was a thing in back in the States, bro. It's still crazy in the States now, but I don't think nothing can top the late 80s and early 90s in the inner city, bro. Juve was cool. I didn't like. I felt like Juve was playing more to Baby, like they was going back and forth rapping, kind of on some New York type shit, than actually playing the audience like No Limit, personally. But man, can nobody compete with Ice Cream Man drop, bro? Or I'm about to drop. All right, we got 86 in the room, guys. Do me a favor and hit that like button. We're gonna go ahead and get to the show at hand. I know I've been flowing for a minute. All right, so let me see if this is the first one. I believe this is the first one. Hold on. Yeah, Cigar Music. Yeah, the dating in the 90s was the best, but modern dating is whack. That's facts. That is facts.
Correctly, he like grabbed my shoulder.
Okay, hold on.
He like.
So it's actually this one. Let me remove this one. Let me remove this one and add this one. Here we go.
All right. Now, LC.
All right. So this is my guy, Freeze. Now, Freeze, just give a little background on Freeze. I believe he's an admitted pimp or a former pimp, basically. All right. He did a lot of content with Sinful to P. He has a pretty successful channel. I think it's around 40 something K. Like I said, he did. You will see a lot of old footage of him and Sinful to P back in the day in them streets. I don't know exactly what city they were in, but they were pimping basically. I mean, I think he's admitted that. I don't think I'm exposing nothing here. So we got him out there in Medellin, Colombia. I don't know if he lives there full time or is he just visiting. I would think by the setup of the mic, he's out there pretty much full time. But let's see what he has to say. This is the first part of the story.
So, for those of y'all who don't know, I'm in Medellin, Colombia currently, right, as we speak. And there's a part of town called Centro or El Centro, right? Now, El Centro is in the downtown area of Medellin, right? And they got a lot of shopping down there. 304s be down there working. Little delinquents be around there. It's a lot of poverty down there. So a lot of people struggling and shit like that, right? So, but I was down there because some of y'all probably seen that I created a new channel where I interviewed a gentleman who was deported from the United States to Colombia because he was born here but raised over there. So I interviewed him last night, posted a video this morning, right? So I went to Centro to get some portable mics so that moving forward, when I do these interviews, my audio is better quality.
All right, my bad, family. I was muted. Uh, why he would go to Central to buy electronics, I'm not sure. There is a mall, an electronics mall at the end of Calle Diaz at the bottom of the hill. I believe it's called Monterey. I used to go there all the time. All right. And shop is much safer because, like I said, it's a mall at the bottom of the hill. The prices is, moderate, decent. They be trying to get over on foreigners, of course. I would have my personal assistant go in there and buy whatever we need. But usually when you go to Central to buy electronics, there's a whole bunch of stores in Central, and that's going to be the cheapest price you get. But with electronics, in some cases they're going to be bootleg or they're going to be stolen. In some cases, the area that he's probably in, I went to with my man DJ Jones. We went to go buy like a used laptop out there, and in that area, you got to be super super hyper aware because it's very dangerous. Of course, because people are buying electronics. I even remember that I was in this electronics mall. Yeah, y'all can hear me now, right? Am I still muted? No, I think we get on the audio now. But I remember, am I muted? Still muted? Hold on. Let me know if I'm still muted. I'm just flowing out here. Let me see if I'm still muted. Press a one if the sound is good, bro, because y'all saying there's no sound. I'm just flowing out here. Hold on. Okay, hold on. I think I know where it is. All right. Can you guys hear me now? We good? Everybody press one. Okay, we good. All right. So like I was saying before, why would he choose to go to that particular area to buy his electronics in Central when there's an electronic mall right in Monterey? Maybe he's closer to Central. I don't know. But it's a much safer, that particular area that I believe that he's in, because there's not too many places that sell electronics in Central area. It's pretty dangerous. So you got to be really hyper aware. People are buying electronics, coming out the mall, sometimes getting robbed right then and there. Also, I remember being out there with my man DJ Jones. He was buying a laptop to DJ, And the guys that he was buying the laptop from, because he was checking the laptop, they had offered us something to drink. And me being naive, me being kind of fresh to Medellin, this might have been the first 6 months I was in Medellin. They offered us some drinks, some like bottled juice or some shit. And my man was just like, he kind of like pull it right out my hand. He was like, "Man, don't drink that." But I'm like, "Why we can't drink? They just offered us some juice. I'm just being nice and polite." And he was like, "No, don't drink it." And then when we left, he was like, "Bro, you in Central. Don't ever accept anything from anybody in Central, especially if it's free." So that's the type of environment that you in Central when you got to be kind of moving and shaking like that. But let's continue.
And then I got a tripod as well, right? So I had 2 bags in my hand. One bag had the microphones. The other bag got the tripods, right? Or the tripod. So y'all know me, I like to walk, man. I just look for reasons to walk. So I was just walking around there getting some exercise, peeping the scene. I seen some people that I knew was chopping it up with them. All the shit, right? So it's a I can't remember if it's Calle 53 or Carrera 53, but it's a street something 53 right there, right in Centro, and that's where a lot of the bars is. A lot of the 304s be right there working and shit like that. It's a lot going on. It's a real busy area, especially Friday night, right? So I'm posted up right there, and I'm on the phone chopping it up with my partner, and me and him was on the phone maybe 15 minutes or so talking with him, right? The call gets disconnected. I don't know if it was my signal or his, but the call gets disconnected.
I'm gonna stop it right there for a moment. Let the stream catch up. God damn it! Hold on. All right, I'm gonna stop it there for a
But the
moment.
call,
Stop. All right, so you might notice the red flag right there. I already told you that the area is pretty dangerous. You gotta be hyper aware. If you guys notice, he said he was on the phone for 15 minutes in Central talking with a friend. So he's probably into the conversation. 15 minutes on the phone, more than likely somebody's clocking him. He has a bag full of electronics in his hand. Okay. That's red flag number 1, in my opinion. Like I said, I'm not victim blaming here, but I'm going off the fact that he said he's street and he's hyper aware. How can anybody be hyper aware? I don't care how much street or training you got. If you own the cell phone, especially talking to your friend, with a bag of electronics in your hand and your phone in the other hand, and possibly since he's American, he has a what, family? What do you think type of phone he has, more or less, being American? What type of phone you think he got? iPhone or either a high-end Android?
gets disconnected. So, mind you, at this point, I've been walking around there for about 4 hours, maybe longer, right? I've been over there. No, yeah, a good 4-5 hours, right? Been walking around. So, I got both of my phones in my pocket, fortunately. I'm walking through this little corridor area, and as I'm walking through there, somebody comes up from behind me on my right side and maces me like this close. Like this close.
Somebody pointed out something real good. Shout out my man Drew. I'm gonna let it flow in a moment, guys. I'm just stopping so I can catch it what he's saying. He says, I think because he's American, he's talking really loud on that phone. You're absolutely correct. He's on his phone. He has a bag full of electronics. He's speaking English, probably loudly, more or less. Okay. He's not blending in. They're telling him what he's wearing. But once again, if you street, you should be hyper aware of your surroundings. You're on the phone, walking around 15 minutes.
Real good. Right? Now, y'all know me, man. I'm from the streets, and I'm hyper aware.
How could you be hyper aware, Freeze, if you you own a phone, right? You own the phone. You claim you got two cell phones, and you speaking loudly, speaking English. Both of your hands are full. How are you hyper aware? How are you from the street? Nah, you slipping, bro.
And I do my best to prepare for things like this. So let me give you a little better visual. Give me just a second.
All right, so you see that this is fresh after it happened. He got blood on his pants. You can see he been on the ground. Okay, he limping. So I seriously doubt if he was faking this or lying for views on this. I'm pretty sure this actually happened. Ooh.
So,
All right, so let's see the other one. He comes back. Hold on.
for those of y'all who don't know, Freeze is left-handed, right? So, because I'm left-handed, and you see this umbrella is one of them big long ones, right?
Damn, somebody said that he pissed himself. I hope he didn't. It looked like he did, though. I don't know.
This is the bag with the microphones in it, right? The microphones that I got for the new channel I just created. So I bought these microphones and I bought a tripod. I don't know what happened to the tripod. I don't know if the dude got away with it or if it fell and somebody else I don't know. Tripod gone though. That's the only thing that I lost, fortunately, right?
All right, so let's do the math, family. Let's do the math. So he has a bag full of electronics. He has a tripod. He has a umbrella. And he has two cell phones, more or less probably high-end cell phones, being American. Okay, he's in Central on a Friday night. He just got maced.
So I'm walking. I got two bags in this hand. I got this umbrella in my left hand, which is the hand that I use everything for or do everything with. Excuse me. Excuse me. God damn. I'm trying not to inhale because the mace, it fucks me up. But anyway, the dude maces me, right? Now, like I said, I do my best to be prepared for these types of situations. So that's why I got the umbrella in my left hand, because I know what goes on around there, right? People be walking with bags in their hand. People will try to run up and snatch your bag and get on, right?
What the F is a umbrella gonna do, bro? What is the umbrella gonna do, Freeze? You gonna poke a motherfucker with the umbrella or something? They don't even have the hook on it, the hook they leg. Bro, you got caught slipping. There's I mean, like I say, I'm not victim blaming. It's a bad situation out there, but you just got too comfortable because you thought it was too many people out there, right? I was under that assumption too. But it does not matter if it's a whole, bro. It don't matter if the police are 10 feet away from you out there in Colombia. They will get it, right? And the police will be in on it too sometimes. So he just got caught slipping. Let's continue.
So I got the umbrella like this, just in case somebody run up on me, I could quick bop their ass upside the head or somewhere, right?
Bro, what is the umbrella going to do? What is a light 2-pound umbrella going to do to anybody, bro? You supposed to be from the street, player. An umbrella ain't going to do shit. What you going to do, poke a nigga in the eye with that shit or something? Bro, you need to have pepper spray and a knife. That's what I used to carry when I was in Centro in my shoulder bag. I pepper spray the hell out of somebody, all right? And I keep a little blade on me.
So, the shit happened so fast, I'm not exactly sure, but when I thought back, I think I hit the dude with my umbrella. I don't know how good I hit him. I don't know where I hit him because I couldn't see shit because he got me good. I ain't gonna lie, it's my first time ever in life being maced. Hopefully it's the last. And man, he got me good. He got me better than I done seen people get maced. I ain't never even seen nobody get maced as good as he got me. But he was like point blank range, and he got me all in my eyes, all in my nose, all in my mouth, just my whole entire face. He got me good, right? So just to give you an idea of what it looks like in the area where this took place, it's like I said, it's like a corridor between buildings. And in between these buildings, they have trees, they have like park benches, and a lot of people around. People got their motorcycles parked, people on bicycles. Just it's a lot going on in this little area, right? So when the guy maces me, like I said, I think I whacked him with the umbrella, but then instinctively I did an about face and ran. So mind you, I can't see shit. So my eyes is closed. I turn around and I run, but I'm running with my eyes closed. So
Hold on, fam. He continues. Hold on.
grab my shoulder and so he could get me good. Right side, he maces me. If I remember correctly, he like grabbed my shoulder. He like grabbed my shoulder and so he could get me good, you know? I think that's what happened. If I remember correctly, I think he grabbed my shoulder with one hand and he maced me. Like he held me right there so he could get me good, right? So, excuse me. So I do an about face and now I'm running with my eyes closed so I can't see a damn thing in front of me. So there's a motorcycle parked right there in front of me. I run into the motorcycle. I knock the motorcycle down and I fall to the ground. So that's why you see this blood right here, because that's from whatever part of the motorcycle that I hit. I hit the motorcycle with my leg and I knocked it down and I fell down. So I get up off the ground. Well, actually, somebody reached a hand out to me and helped me off the ground. I still don't even know who that.
Hold on. J. Clyde, brother. How much evidence do you need? It's another episode of Cap and Tales of Medellin, brother. This 100% happened. Freeze is not a trained actor. Okay, this 100% happened, bro. There's no faking of this. He doesn't have costume design out there in Medellin to mess up his tank top. He got blood on his leg. This happened, bro. Come on now, J. Clyde.
Was because like I said, it's Friday night, so it's super active in this area, so it's people everywhere. So somebody reaches out to me. They take my hand, lift me up. So now I'm on my feet. I'm hollering. I'm like, but of course much louder, but I'm cussing. Man, my eyes is on fire.
All right, so he said he was hollering. Now we know, you got to point, or he probably couldn't point, but you scream out, Patron, Patron, robber, basically in Spanish. And I don't think he speaks a lot of Spanish, basically. He was telling guys to get him milk since he was mace. So this goes, I didn't record this part, but he goes on to say, and I'm continuing this part of the video. But this is at the end of the video. He was laughing about it, but he was saying to the people, leche, right? Meaning he need milk for the mace, basically. And of course, the Colombians he was like, leche, which in Colombian slang, Latino slang, basically it means, busting a nut. So he's telling them, leche. So that's another thing. You don't know that much Spanish. You're in Centro. You're telling guys nut on your face and shit because you don't know what to say, basically. You're saying milk in Spanish, but the slang for nutting in Spanish is leche, leche, papi. So he says that as well.
I'm grabbing my leg because I couldn't even see that it was bleeding, but I just felt the pain in my leg. So Now pay attention, right? Pay close attention. And it's crazy. Just a couple.
All right. So he goes on to say he just goes off topic after this. So that's basically the incident of what happened. Because after this part, he doesn't continue the story. He says something about some motivational, basically saying that things could have turned out way worse, which is true. Things could have turned out worse. You know, he turned around. I think he said he got his tripod stolen out of all that. But just to go back, right? Some of the red flags in this scenario is he's downtown at night on a Friday night in Central at a so-called electronics mall. That electronics mall I've been to, really sketchy. All right, everything is pretty much stolen up in that motherfucker. All right, so it's a sketchy area. Also, I was told by Colombians not to go to Central at night. You got a bag, like I say, a handful of electronics. You got some umbrella, some pimping umbrella. You say that's your defensive weapon. I don't know how an umbrella, especially without the little hook at the end, could be any form. I guess you can block people with it. But him saying that he hit the guy, he think he hit the guy. I don't know if you mace somebody, I don't know if that's will make you forget if you get maced, if you hit somebody or not. You know, I think he's just trying to kind of save face a little bit. Not saying, hey, shout out to Freeze, man. I don't know Freeze a day. But, you know, you forgot if you hit somebody with the umbrella, you know what I mean, because you're blind. Or maybe you hit a tree or something. I don't know. But what type of damage can you impact with an umbrella? But he did the right thing. He turned around. He just took off running. He probably wasn't aware exactly where he was at because he didn't know exactly the street per se. Okay. Definitely want to know exactly where you at. You know, in that scenario, it's not really much you can do, especially if you don't see the guy coming from behind and mace you, especially if you don't have any glasses or anything like that. You're pretty much screwed. But the point is, he made himself a target by, you know, being loud, more or less, probably being loud. I mean, he's a, big guy, probably has a, loud voice. You know, you in two phones. I'm never on my cell phone. If I do, I pull out my cell phone. First of all, I'm gonna have my burner phone with me in Central anyway. But, if I got this bad boy, I'm definitely not gonna be speaking on it in Central, 100%. I mean, you can clearly see this is an iPhone 16 Pro Max or whatever. They will rob the hell out of you for this phone. This is like walking around with a gold bar in Compton or some shit. You know what I'm saying? LA or Atlanta, wherever. Okay, so he's doing that. He probably could have avoided all this by just going to Monterey. It'd been a whole lot safer. If he's on that type of time where he wants to talk to people for 15 minutes on the phone, they just looking at him. They're like, who the fuck is this American walking through here with an iPhone? You know what I'm saying? With a bag full of electronics. Oh, he think he got muscles and shit, huh? Oh, we're going to get his ass. That's the thought process of a robber, bro. And it's unfortunate. But like you said, at the end of this story, because like I said, he's at this point, even though I cut it off, he basically saying that it could have been worse. Something really could have happened. I mean, I have heard of people being killed in Central, being shot and stabbed in Central, right in the back. And this happens to Colombians as well. That's why you got to be, like I say, I don't see how you say you street, bro, when you really wasn't paid. You got too comfortable, basically. Sounds like to me. Like I said before, this is not a shot at Freeze or his character, right? Maybe we can collab and do a show one day or something like that. I like to see good brothers out there, traveling in different countries and stuff like that. But you got guys that's been in Colombia for 4, 5, 10 years who hasn't had any incidents. Now, to go back to my incident in Central, and I'm going to get to the comments in a moment, basically, I went out there to Central. One of my guys was being extorted, and he came out there pretty much for me, He was being softly extorted by some Venezuelans with tattoos on with their faces and all that shit. Paying for security. Don't have to pay for security to walk around Central, family. So I went out there and, I found them and I told the two Venezuelan guys that, hey, we good. We're going to go this way. Y'all can continue going that way. We good. And my boy at the time was just like, nah, they cool, man. I bought them some beers and everything. They're going to walk around with us. I'm like, nah, bro. They're going to walk us right into a damn trap. My boy was really naive. He from the suburbs. He naive. He think everybody, he a foreigner. Everybody gonna show him love, which they do. But I was like, nah, we're gonna go this way. Y'all just because them niggas was super sketchy. There was some straight Venezuelan street dudes. So we started going the other way. As we going the other way, some random chica says I was recording on the phone. My phone was in my fucking pocket. It was in my hand. It was either in my hand or my pocket. But she said I was recording her as we're walking past. This is Central now, right? As I'm walking past her, I guess she was assuming that I was recording or whatever. I was not recording at all. But by her saying that, the goons came out, right? The goons came out. They started following us. And that's when I, took a beeline into a little cafe, right? Because I'm like, okay, they about the corners. They about to do their thing on us. I beeline to a cafe. I'm sitting there standing in the cafe. It's about maybe 6 Venezuelans. They come in, ask me for my phone to get my phone and everything like that. I'm telling them I'm not giving them my phone. This is when I was this is like month number 2 living in Colombia, maybe month number 2. And I still was kind of edgy. I got a little PTSD, but I got a little, I grew up in the hood for the most part, the streets and stuff like that myself. So I'm still like, I'm not really hearing what they're saying, especially because I didn't know a lick of Spanish that well as well. So, I'm going back and forth. I'm like, I'm not giving you my phone, bro. Fuck all what you're talking about. He's like, give me your phone, give me your phone. He's gonna take my phone and just walk off. And I'm telling him, I'm like, no. And they're surrounding me in this little cafe. Luckily, it was a black Colombian that comes around from the corner and says, hey, man, he says he wasn't recording. You guys got to get out of here. All right. He said, bro, was you recording? You want to delete the video? I think he spoke a little English or something. He was like, you want to show me your phone? I'm like, fuck no, I'm not showing them shit. I won't record. And so they started kind of like low-key disperse a little bit. I think it was the respect of the black Colombian that was there working is the only reason possibly that they didn't just jump on me because they was about to knock me up. They was about to fuck me up. Don't get it twisted. They was about to get me, and I turn around, look for my homeboy. His ass is gone. You know what I'm saying? It's just me. I'm like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, okay, I'm on my own. So this is first. And I remember being told, if you get into it with somebody in Colombia or downtown in Central, Medellin, walk into the middle of the street, just walk into traffic. And that's what I did. You know what I'm saying? My homeboy appeared out of nowhere. I'm like, where the fuck he was at? He was like, man, they just started tripping. I was like, yeah. But we walk into the middle of traffic and I waved down a taxi. As I'm waving down a taxi, 2 more Venezuelan guys are pulling up and they were like, hey, bro, you good. It was a mistake. It was like basically saying that it was a mistake. You good. Don't worry, bro. But I'm still super hyper aware because I'm like, okay, they trying to calm things down. But I'm like, stay your ass 5-10 feet away from me. It's cool. You saying it was a mistake and everything. I think what happened is either my homeboy was trying to record and just pointed me out, or I don't know what happened. Maybe it was a setup. I don't fucking know. But anyway, that was the only incident I went in Central. We got in the taxi. We booked it back to Poblado. All right. So that it can go down just that quick in Central. Just putting that out. Let me get some of these comments, man. Somebody said he looked like Kane from Snowfall. Oh, I want to see what man Jay Clyde saying, because Jay Clyde said he capping. Oh, hold on. That's all I'm saying for us to be adding sauce to their stories. Jay Clyde, this man has blood on his pants, dirt on it. Lucky he got like a pee stain, or he fell in some water. I don't know, but it looked like a pee stain, really. He got dirt on his wife beater. He's doing this right after. I seriously doubt that he did all this shit. Bro, I can't believe this story either. Why can't you believe this? Why can't y'all believe this shit? Yeah, he was saying leche. They didn't know what you're talking about, but he explains that in the video. Somebody says anybody can Monday morning quarterback anything, BMT. I just told you my incident. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I'm not victim blaming. I'm just saying that, by him saying he's street and hyper aware, this is what I'm pointing out, that he's not hyper aware. He might be street, but he wasn't hyper aware. I've been to Central and Guayaquil with my new iPhone walking lives, no problem. Style King, shout out my man Style King. I've had cats that love hanging out in Central, right? I err on the side of caution, bro. I don't speak Spanish fluently enough to feel comfortable. Even if I did, I still Central just not my. It's just not my cup of tea, personally. It's not my environment. Now I've seen guys go to Central with a camera and not have any incidents. Do I suggest you do that? No. No. All right. Shout out to my man D May with a $5 super chat, the first super chat of the day. Appreciate the $5 super chat, my man. Shout out to my man D May, the Hooper. All right, hold on. HJ Clyde says, hyper cheap, needing to go to Central to buy a mic and tripod. Take your ass to the real mall. Now, that's another thing. That's another thing. You couldn't pay me to go to Central and buy any electronics. I did go to Central to buy some clothes, I think. Like, we would go to Central. Don't get it twisted. But we was always just keep it moving. Like, Central is one of them things that you just got to really be, like, the hairs on the back of your neck should be standing up. Right? Somebody said delete the video. Why? Why should he delete the video? All right, Playdog says that's the thing, BNT. I dropped a link, by the way, fellas, if you want to hop on for a moment. I'm not gonna be here long. But Playdog 5892 says that's the thing, BMT. I don't think he was in Central. I think he got maced by some females and got roughed up by who knows. All right, Playdog, why would you say that? Like, why would you assume that he got roughed up by some of the girls? You think he out there trying to pimp the girls in Colombia? Y'all think he trying to do some pimping in Colombia? Hey man, y'all, this chat is hardcore. I swear to God, y'all hardcore, man. He might be street, but he's not experiencing Colombian streets. Facts. Blackhaven 901, you were 100% correct in that assessment. It's a different form of streets. Their stating is from the milk he poured on his face that his friend got him when he arrived. The stain is from the milk. Okay. So, guys, not a pee stain. The stain is from the milk. Reba 84, are you familiar with this? Was you out there? Are you familiar with this? What happened? Somebody said all that for bots. He said he was out there with, buying electronics, bro. The stain is from the milk he poured on his face that his friend got him when he arrived. Okay. Oh. Okay. Maybe it poured down to his pants. J. Clyde beat, bro. I swear. It could be a nuclear war in Medellin, Colombia. J. Clyde is going to say it ain't happened. God damn it. Look forward to November 1st performance from EBT. Shout out to what a week. Yeah, somebody sent me that message at like 1 a.m. about EBT being cut off. That's crazy. That's crazy. It's going to be a lot of relationships being mended in the States. And unfortunately, a lot of those guys are going to fall for that shit. He got comfortable. Happens to most people when they've been in an environment for a long time. You eventually let your guard down slightly. This is what happened to him. I 100% agree. Daver 739. All right, that's the most logical assessment there. He got a little too comfortable. And shout out to my man Richie Mack. Richie Mack recently went to Medellin, Colombia. I think he went to Cartagena too. Yeah, he went to Cartagena as well. And he was telling me that he felt safe and he didn't feel no type of way. Or I'm like, Richie, Medellin, Colombia in general is beautiful. The people are great. I mean, you'll get some of the most friendly people in the world in Colombia. I still have friends that check on me from Colombia. All right. But it can go left real fast in Colombia. And I was naive like that too when I first got there. Thankfully, I was around some guys and vets that, told me the game and schooled me. And even when they was telling me, I was just like, damn, is it? I don't feel like it's dangerous, right? Because it's such a beautiful city. Until people that start dying, till people that start getting robbed, all right, losing their lives, people that you had breakfast and lunch with. Months later, they're dead, right? Body cremated, little contact with the family. I mean, come on, man. It's serious out there. It really is. I just got back from San Domingo. Y'all can keep dangerous as Colombia. San Domingo is cool. Shout out my man Decimate. I believe he's on the app as well. San Domingo is cool. I like San Domingo personally. It's a vibe. Thing about San Domingo is you got to have a girlfriend in San Domingo, bro. Like, and it's I would say it's easy to obtain because there's so many nurses, doctors, lawyers, school teachers, and everything in San Domingo. If you in the Gasque area, actually, if you in the what area was I in? I was right by the college in San Domingo. The college was a crazy ass name. It was some type of crazy Spanish name. I don't remember college, but if you're in that general area, you definitely can date with ease. The wet stain threw everything off. They saying it's milk, Hamlet. They saying it's milk. Let me see if I can hold on. Let me see if I can pause it. Let me see. I think he comes back right here.
So,
hold on. Matter of fact, yeah. Okay, so that's it right there. Yeah, that's definitely probably milk. That's definitely probably milk. All right, they're like, okay, Remy, eat 84, either he was there or you just saw more of the story. He says he was able to call his friend when someone helped him open his eyes. What's interesting is usually 9 times out of 10, they're going for that phone. So the fact that he had 2 phones and neither one of them got, maybe he ran far away. I'm not sure. Running can't see anything. That's pretty tough. He could have ran to the street and got hit by a car or some shit. I would say his friend was close. Okay. Style King Marcus says you have to be aware of the environment. Got to know how to move or stay in the West. Play Dog 582. I done seen dudes come to Medellin and start pimping. I seen them do that on the OnlyFans thing. And I was always wondering, I was just like, bro, you came to Colombia to put girls on OnlyFans. And then when I returned to Colombia, it was a shitload of girls on OnlyFans. Mythical and Legend says, I've been living in Colombia for 4 years and have no interest in going to Medellin. Medellin is a vibe. I love Medellin. All right. I've been to Cartagena, Rio Hacha. I believe that's pretty much it. Have I been to Guadalupe? Where else I've been? So I've been to about 4 cities in Medellin, Colombia. I want to go to more cities, but I do like Medellin. And I've known guys that live in Barranquilla for a year and they end up coming back to Medellin. All right. Most cats like Cartagena or Medellin. The majority of Americans that I know like either Cartagena or Medellin. He also said he ended up with the police that was helping him once he managed to clear his eyes and see. Somebody said, why is there any milk stains on his t-shirt? What up, Jamal? What's going on, brother? Did I see you? I think I ran into you a couple of weeks ago out here. I believe you passed by me on a bike. But I think he had a different shirt. He probably had on a shirt on top of his wife beater. Passport Poop says, we're swinging the hell out of that umbrella. Yeah. Walking with 2 phones is definitely not streetwise. Walking with your phone out in general in Central is not street. My man said I'm good on Medellin, Cali Zaval. I got a friend out there. I don't know if you know my man Zoo, but Zoo loves Cali. No, you don't have to worry about that in Asia. You don't. They got other little stuff. I'm not saying you have to really worry about it as a foreigner, but they got other little stuff going on in Asia too. Like I said, none of these societies are perfect, family. All right. But yeah, it is much safer in Asia. You can definitely leave your phone out. They'll give your phone back. That's the cool thing about most Asian countries. Not necessarily Cambodia, but most Asian countries. Medellin is one of the few places on the planet where you can literally find heaven and hell in the same spot. That's 100% true. And in that valley, in the evenings and in the mornings, it definitely looks like heaven. It does. It does. I mean, I miss Medellin. I feel like it's a beautiful valley in the middle of the rainforest. The weather is perfect. We all know there's other things going on in Medellin too that men like as well. But listen, it can turn, it can go left real quick. And that's why I be trying to explain to guys, listen, travel to where you want to travel to. Some people like Colombia, some people like Brazil, some people love Thailand, some people love the DR. Do what's best for you. These countries are beautiful, but I will say out of all those countries, from my experience, Colombia is probably going to be the most dangerous. From my personal experience. All right. All right, guys, we've been rocking for about a solid hour here. Before I go, shout out to the Passport Bros app community. Shout out to the developer, man. We got the tips. They going. All right. If you guys are not familiar with the Passport Bros app, we have an app. It's a community of guys traveling the world, sharing their experiences. And when they post a recommendation, or a motivational post or any type of post that people like, we have a system to where you can basically tip that post, right? And we got this from pretty much the Passport Bros group. We will see a lot of posts get a lot of activity. It shows the admins how many likes, how many views that particular post got. In some cases, we have posts 20, 30,000 views, right? And that's when I had the idea to say, you know what? Let's put a tip button right by the person's post so people in the community can tip that guy for either a recommendation or a motivational post, something, positive, some type of information, right? It's one of the first apps of its kind. We've been working on this for the last, I think, two years now. All right. But now you guys can share information, also monetize your content. And we have you be able to post on the lives as well, just like here, streaming here. All right. And you see here, these are guys who interactions, just kind of posting each other. The green is going out. I'm sorry, the red is going out, and the green here is from tips. So you just see different guys. You got my man Flight Madness, Daryl Travels. This is the most supportive community of guys that you'll ever see in your life. All right. And guys are cashing out. All right. You get a notification when you get a tip. Real positive, man. Very proud of this, man. Shout out to my developers. All right. Because we're actually paying out guys for their experiences. We got one gentleman. Where is he at? He's in Eastern Europe somewhere. We got another guy that's in Moscow. They're putting up clubs. We got a guy there in Rio. Shout out to my man in Rio. What's his name? I forgot his name. But he's in Rio posting different, bars, restaurants, and clubs. I post on there different recommendations and everything like that. So, guys, if you haven't already downloaded Passport Bros app, the link is in the description. Now, to participate in the monetization of the app, okay, you do have to be a subscriber or a user. It's $5 a month, which is 17 cents a day. All right. We have different tiers. We have a free tier as well. And we have what they call a boarding pass tier. Right. That's about $2 a month. Right. That's kind of to be able to get the group discounts and all that good stuff as well. You're still a part of the community. But in order to monetize, and the formula to this is basically you get your subscription fee back. Right. The $5 helps us develop and maintain the app. All right. But as you're posting, if you post consistently, hell, I give a lot of tips daily. So you'll get that $5 a month back. We also have a higher tier, the $15 tier. We had guys that wanted to have private events, wanted to network more on the business side of things. All right, so we have that jet setter tier as well. We have Monday streams. We talk about Money Mondays, talking about different investment opportunities that guys can get themselves involved in, because there are a lot of opportunities when it comes to investing overseas, but you got to be definitely careful. And shout out to my guys, they're buying properties. Shout out to Esmond MIA. He just bought his first property out there in Medellin, Colombia. We walked through everything on that. Shout out my man Xavier. He bought some land out there. I believe it was about 30 minutes away from Medellin. We did a whole video walking through that as well, on how he purchased that land out there in Colombia. I'm also going to interview a guy that just recently purchased a property out there in Rio, in Copacabana as well. So that jet setter tier is more of a small network. And we definitely have private parties, invites on the jet setter tier as well. We had a private party in Medellin, Colombia, I think about a year and a half ago. It was one of the best parties that I ever been to. Great party, no phones, no YouTubers, anything recording at that party. It was at a, not a rooftop, but it was like a penthouse suite. And we had a private party. It's very dope. Some millionaires in there too, just, exchanging information alongside each other. So guys, if you haven't already downloaded the Passport Bros app, make sure to download the Passport Community app. It's available in Google Play and Apple Play Store. All right. Join the community. With that, we are out. Peace.